Oh my gosh, I'm already recording another video. And that's because I found myself making this explanatory note of the description in my last video, which was keto update. It says liquid stevia review, ice cream, and weight. And I'm gonna leave the explanation there, but I just want to make sure that there's kind of a separate statement about it. What I did is I basically called bullshit on people talking about stressful situations and blaming that for weight. And that doesn't get at what I'm calling bullshit on. What I'm calling bullshit on is people bullshitting themselves, which is, if we blame external events or situations other than, like, well, in some ways, maybe, money, privilege, well, yeah, it definitely plays a part into it. Like, if you can't afford food, and I'm not talking good food, I mean, if you can't afford to buy food and other people are providing food for you, then, I mean, yeah. I mean, if you can't afford to feed yourself and someone is graciously providing food and you're eating what is provided, then I totally get that. But outside of that external circumstance, I've got a mother with terminal cancer myself. I've been out of work for almost 2 months now. I've been being paid, just to be clear. I don't want to dismiss the privilege that I have. I've been laid off, so that's, the money stops coming in about a week or two. But anyway, I've been looking for a job, which I've actually get up earlier and do more, well, not do more during the day, but do a lot. Like, because I work in computers, so my job, interview process is extended. Like, there is a place that has sent me a contract and made an offer to me that has literally been talking to me since the evening of the layoffs, which were March 16th, and it is now early May? It's May 11th, so almost 2 months, and we've literally been in the interview process. Like, there was about a week there where I didn't do anything with job interviewing because I was on vacation and just literally driving for most of it, so I couldn't do anything. But except for that, we've been in the interview process. So it is extensive, and I have to do hours-long projects and all kinds of things. The point is, I've been out of work. I got a mother with terminal disease. I'm sure there are other stressful things in my life. I mean, I've had a lot to do. I've juggling all kinds of appointments. There's no sex. That's sad, and that can be stressful. It's not very, it's sad that I'm not having sex, but I'm not really looking for a companion. Just, girls got needs. I can't believe I discuss these things on camera, but is there any reason not to? Nope. Because life. So anyway, my point is that if external circumstances are causing you stress, as they do, that's, sure, that happens. If you blame those things, then you're bullshitting yourself. You're saying, I'm under stress, so my food has gotten out of control. And people are like, oh, yeah, you're under stress, you're out of work, or maybe your marriage is going bad, or your kids are tormenting you, or, whatever the thing is that is causing you stress. Maybe people are horrible at work. I used to work in a place where people, not my last place, just for the record, but I have worked places where office politics, people often say things like, oh, things have gone out of control, I haven't had time, blah, 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 blah. What you're saying, even if you don't realize it, is you're talking about external things, and people totally get that, and they understand that, and you understand that external things affect how you're sticking with your diet and that kind of thing. But even just that, kind of that psychological experience of you're kind of putting ownership on the external things. Like, suddenly a lost job, which isn't even a thing. It's literally not a thing. it's a not job. Like that owns the choices that I make? No. And I really think that we bullshit ourselves into not taking ownership of our food issues. I totally get that sometimes our food gets out of control during stressful situations, but you know what? Even just that, I think it's a big psychological leap and step and movement forward to own that, to say, you know what, I'm in this stressful situation right now, and I don't have adequate control of my food issues. I've realized that in stressful situations, things I thought I had under control, I don't. And I'm not making good choices. And I am doing this, I am eating cake, or I am not taking the time to prep my food, or whatever you have to do, I've been, when I've been ignoring carby foods that are in the house, now I'm not. So I think even making I statements about what's happening during a stressful time and about what you or I am doing during that time, I think that's really empowering, even if we're talking about a weakness. But I think, and I will also say that I think we are cheating ourselves by giving ownership of any of those choices to stressful situations. We are allowing ourselves to lie to ourselves about why something is happening. It may be that stressful situations are revealing that we don't have as much, we haven't made as much progress as we thought we had with food issues, but it's still our progress to make. It is still our issues that we're confronting. It is still whatever our relationship with food is exacerbated. It's us, and I think we're real good at cheating ourselves of ownership of things. Sometimes we're bad at owning the good things about ourselves, like, being, here I am, I'm on the job market, and I have to, express what I'm good at, and own that I'm good at some different things, and that, sometimes that's very difficult as well. But I think also, if my food isn't right, if I'm not eating, it's not that I'm traveling or I don't have, what came up in my last video is that people were staying with me, I was traveling, I didn't have as much control over when I ate, but what I did is I owned the fact that I'm so much better with a schedule. But I will say I'm also going to own that I did not eat non-keto food because I was traveling or because I had people staying with me or that sort of thing. And I get to own that victory, and I also get to own the fact that I didn't lose weight. I basically kind of maintained, maybe even went up occasionally. I also went back down, with my food. I get to own that experience, positive and negative. Look, it's Lulu. And I think that's so important. I think it's psychologically important to, if there are external situations affecting your life, fine, acknowledge that, but own the part. Don't give an experience or circumstances power in any way, because it removes that experience of having the power, even just a little bit psychologically, and that can fool you into believing you are not in control of making your choices. Now, we all struggle with making choices, and there are times stressful situations are going to affect you and that sort of thing. But again, it's not about the stressful situations, it's about how I react to them, how you react to them, how we react to them. Circumstances they shouldn't, well, I hate should stuff, but let's face fact. In my personal opinion, circumstances shouldn't necessarily affect your mood, and they shouldn't necessarily affect your eating. And They can, and sometimes they do, but I would say acknowledge your role in that. Like crappy things happen all the time, and it's not like I enjoy those crappy times, but I get to still be a happy person. I can be a happy person if I'm pulled over for speeding. I can be a happy person. Heck, my computer monitor went down the other day, and the one thing I don't do well with patience and all that sort of thing is technology gone bad. And I was not a happy camper during the second monitor computer thing not working. I was not, but I would like to point out what I did just now. I owned the fact that I have a problem with patience when it comes to technology issues. I don't blame technology issues. In fact, I even told somebody while this was going on that I was anger eating. And to be fair, I anger ate a Quest bar. Not a great choice, but not the worst thing. I was already planning to eat the Quest bar. I just ate it faster and angrier than I planned. And I acknowledge that I have anger eating issues when faced with technological difficulties. And I even took a picture of my frown that I had on my face during that time, because I'm like, this is not natural for me. But I don't blame technology, and didn't blame technology for making me anger eat. What that kind of meltdown with technology revealed to me is that I still eat in anger. It may be that I do not let outside circumstances make me angry very often, but it does happen, and when it happens, I have a weakness with relation to food, and thank goodness, I guess that it was a Quest bar, except that I wouldn't have allowed non-keto stuff in my house. Although, actually, I take that back. There's non-keto stuff in my house, and I have chosen not to eat it. And I wasn't even tempted to eat it. Anyway, this went on longer than I thought, but hopefully I got that across. I don't call bullshit on stressful situations affecting eating, and I don't think people are weak for eating during stressful situations. Unless they blame the stressful situations for the eating problem. And what it really is that a stressful situation has revealed an eating issue or a food issue, and folks, in my personal opinion, need to own that. And for their own good, not because I think that they're bad folks, but because when you own it, you own it. And you get to work on it, and you get to change it. If the stressful situation is that someone's got a terminal disease, or you don't have a job, hopefully you're doing as much as you can to alleviate whatever, stress you can about that, like by finding another job, or spending time with the people who won't be around forever, or whatever you can do. But yeah, I think owning your shit helps you deal with your shit, and you don't want to bullshit yourself, because you won't make progress. So, I went on for longer in the supplementary video than I did in the actual video. That's how I roll.